I was just wondering, did you feel like that was a result of them doing something defensively, your offense not executing the way it was? I mean, I think overall the 3 point attempts were down. What do you think the reason for that difference was?
I think we got as much penetration to the paint. They switched a few more things, and then turn the ball over. Didn't give ourselves a chance with a lot of those turnovers.
First row in the middle.
Boy, Manning CLNS Media, Ime felt like Draymond playing more on the ball had an impact on you guys in a few circumstances where you're kind of getting into guys. I know you picked up a technical at one point off one of those plays. What do you just think his impact was on how you guys were playing offensively and just composure wise out there?
That's one player that he can only do or guard one person at a time. So we had 11 turnovers for 18 points in the first half. They had 9 steals, so playing in the crowd way too much. I mean, he's going to switch matchups a lot of times and try to impact the ball defensively, especially. But we weren't strong with the ball overall, so it wasn't just him. It was, of course, he's going to come out and try to set the tone. But I think we weren't strong with the ball a lot, searching for fouls instead of going up and making plays, especially with their lack of rim protection. So for us, that was a little disappointing to give up 33 points off of 19 turnovers, and that's kind of been a constant theme in the playoffs. When that happens, we're in trouble.
We'll go to the middle. Gary Washburn.
Ime, you guys didn't play great in the first half, but down two. How disappointing is it when the same third quarter issues happen? And three, you guys were so careless with the ball. It just seemed like you guys were doing too much, and they took full advantage. I mean, how can you guys play such a drastically different game than you did in game one?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's been an ongoing theme in the playoffs so far at times. We turn over the ball, make teams take teams out of scoring against us in the half court, gift them some baskets. But it was more of the same in that third quarter. To your point, like I said, we had 11 for 18 points in the first half, and then gave up 5 or 6 more in that quarter and kind of blew it open. And that hampered our offense as well. So for us, it was more. That's a disappointing quarter, of course, but the first half was just as disappointing, only being down 2 and not playing good basketball at all, frankly. And so had our opportunities, came out, jumped out up 9 early, and then turnovers started happening, let them back in the game, and just offense wasn't as crisp with the ball movement and passing. Like I said, 11 of our turnovers were live ball turnovers, 9 of them out of steals. So got to be better in that category.
Right side, third row.
You were switching on Steph early, and he was trying to find space on Al. Then eventually, you just went back to drop and just sent over another defender to loose double. What was the thinking on making that switch, and how did they take advantage of it?
Keep them off balance a little bit, give them different looks. Just throwing extra bodies depending on who was in certain spots on the court. He's good depending on who he's in the pick and roll with. Of course, him and Green have good chemistry there, and letting Green make plays. So we were choosing who we wanted to double team off of, who we wanted to switch off of, and who play more of a traditional coverage. So just some things to keep him off balance.
Left side, second row.
Matt Votor, Mass Live. Ime, were you surprised that there was no technicals or even double technicals with the Draymond and Jalen with dust up there? And you feel like that Jalen, who looked like he was pretty hot after that might have taken him out of a pretty good rhythm that he had going offensively earlier?
No, I was not surprised. There was a double technical not called. Not surprised at all due to the circumstances. But Jalen, no, I think he got some fouls early in the game, and that kind of took him out of rhythm more so than that specific play. He got the 2 early fouls when he was really going early, and slowed him down a little bit there.
On the right side, Mark Murphy, fourth row.
Hey, May. In addition to the turnovers, they just came out with another really strong third quarter. You guys gave up 2 really big runs there. What did you talk to these guys about at halftime in terms of being ready for that run that Golden State was going to come through with?
Yeah, that we didn't play a great first half at all, and we were down 2, and gave away a lot of opportunities. And instead of tightening up in that area, we did more of the same. And those turnovers and poor offense contributed to their runs. And so, team that scores as well as they do, we don't need to help them out in that category.
Left side, first row.
Abby Chin, NBC Sports Boston. Ime, what happened on the tech? It felt like more of a culmination than that one play in that one moment.
I just let them know how I felt throughout the game in a demonstrative way. on purpose to get the technical.
2 more questions. Back to Gary.
Ime, can you look, Gary Washington, Boston Globe, can you look at this as you split without the result? Because obviously the narrative over the next few days will be that the Warriors are back and you guys, didn't play well. How do you kind of view this trip, this first trip, and then how do you prepare the guys to get back home?
We look at it as a disappointing loss in game 2, and a game we didn't play up to our potential and our standard. And so, regardless of what happened in game 1, that's behind us, and we had opportunities, like I said, to give up 18 of their 52 in the first half based off turnovers. Obviously allowed them to be in that situation up 2. So opportunities to play much better. One wasted in the first half, and then obviously the third quarter got away from us even more. As opposed to the first half where we turned it over a lot, we were still scoring. It worked against us in that half. Not only the turnovers, but poor offense. A lot of those led to leakouts as well.
Final question, second row on the right side.
Suichi Tirada with Mass Live. Ime, you guys shot well from 3, but obviously inside the arc, I think sub 40%. I guess what happened there, and how difficult does that make scoring? When twos aren't going down.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those turnovers were off drop-offs or getting stripped at the basket. We had opportunities to probably, attack the basket and get some buckets, some easy buckets. We're settled for some floaters. I think when looking up in the first quarter, we were shooting 50, 40, 90 across the board. It's still down due to a lot of those turnovers. So a lot of times it's just not getting shots up or being a little hesitant instead of going to attack the basket, looking for fouls a lot of times. And that's what got us in trouble. Had some more early misses in the first half, and with their smaller teams, smaller lineups in there, we got to attack the basket much more aggressively.
Thank you, Coach.